today we're gonna build some tiny houses for some occults, and this is the part 3 of the series. And in the last part we built a tiny house for an imaginary friend and a ghost. And as you can see, most of the plans for the imaginary friend house is gone. They went missing when I moved these builds to a bigger lot. They went missing. So don't know what I'm going to do about that, but I probably have to do the gardening all over again. But not today, maybe next time. And as you can see, I have added on some more houses because we are in fact going to do all of the occults. All of them. Because I love this series and it is never going to end. Never! But right, without further ado, let's begin on this house right here. And you know what we have to do then? Oh, we have to spin our spinny wheel. And the occults that we have left is a vampire, alien, fairy, werewolf, servo, plant sim, skeleton, and a unicorn. So let's see what we shall get today. And we're gonna spin for the first house. So, my spinny wheel, spin away! Let it be good, let it be good. Oh, okay, a servo. A servo. Right. That's a difficult one, a servo. Now, if you don't know, this is the servo. It's basically a robot, ish-libidish. And in The Sims 4, it comes to life when you build it yourself with the robotic skills. And let's see the needs. Ooh, that's right. It doesn't need to eat anything, and it can charge everywhere. And it doesn't have to go to the bathroom or shower. Well, let's build this house then, shall we? Or we freaking shall. So for this house, alright, what am I thinking? The servo. It has been made by humans. It's kind of a robot. Oh, okay. Something has come into my brain. What if the servo lives in a tin box? Like a shabby tin box. I think that would be kind of cool. Hold on. What if we start off with that? And then we just add on some patches of some other metals. Oh, yes. Because the servo made his house themselves. This is a homemade house they made for themselves. They have been left behind by humankind. Oh, that was really sad. Maybe I need to find a lighter story. Or maybe not. But yeah, right. Something like so. For the wallpaper, shabby old homemade tin box. And then for the windows, what can we go with? I mean, we have a journey to Batuu. That's kind of the vibe. Yeah. Maybe we can go with something like so. Put it up with this window maybe. And for the door, what are we going to use for the door? Maybe this one in shabby shade. That is our vibe. Oh, and actually, to separate those patches, we need some columns. We can put in some of these. And also this one maybe from the werewolf pack. Yo, that could look good. We put a roof on that as well. What type of roof do we want? Interesting. I mean, we could go for a flat roof, but I think that is too modern because we gotta remember that this servo made this house themselves. I think we could go for a tin roof, but an asymmetrical roof maybe. So if you have one there, and then put one on the other side as well for the asymmetry. So it becomes sort of like so. I have bent it in a little bit on each side, so it's kind of like falling inwards. And then for the roof pattern, ooh, what if we go with this one? Vibes. Just vibes. Whoa. And then for the house details, what can we do for the details? What do we want? I'm thinking post-apocalyptic, robot stuff, Porter style, Wall-E, pipes. Can put up some good old pipes. Hold on. So we could have like a pipe over here, 2 pipes down, many more to go. We can maybe add this pipe on the back there for some reason. Good, my pipes are up. And then we could also have some very random awnings on some of the windows, like this one and that one there. And then we could have a metal one on this window with also an old air conditioning and this fan over there. Sure, beautiful. Oh, and of course this light that is magical, majestic. And then maybe a camera too. For some reason, yeah, we can have a camera. Oh, and then last but not least, some buttons, some industrial buttons. I think that is looking great. That's a great exterior start. And then for the roof, we need some weird stuff on the roof. What can I find? You maybe have a roof vent, then a satellite dish. Then a random one of these just popping along there. Oh, maybe a solar panel. Very industrial. Ooh. And a turbine. A wind turbine. That is one messy roof and I kind of love it. I actually love it. This is great. What a great start. A little tin box of a house. Beautiful. All right. And now for the landscaping. Our beautiful landscaping. We gotta figure out what we're gonna do. So for the other ones, I've used plants and rocks. You know, the normal shenanigans. But for this one, I don't feel like they would have any plants. But they would have some rocks. So what am I gonna use instead of plants? Because I don't want to have just rocks. Interesting. Ooh, okay. I know what we can do. We can use some random scrap metal in between the rocks and stuff. I think that would be kind of cool. Hold on. Okay. Ooh. So we can use some of this, but also the octagonal rocks from Enchanted by Nature. These ones. So I want it to be very square. So if you put the rocks sort of like so, and then just squeeze in the scrap metals and stuff in between the rocks, make it all funky. We can use this one too. But it's very square. Then we can make a movement. This could be a bad idea, and it could also be a good idea, but it's probably gonna be a bad idea. But yeah, we're gonna try that. I'm gonna put up the rocks and my scrap metal, and no plants, people. No plants. This is gonna be my first build without any plants. So I'm kind of nervous, kind of scared, but I'm gonna do it. And hopefully it will be be looking good. I'm gonna use a lot of time on this, but I'm here for it. I'm ready. And if this does not look good, I am gonna cry. So let's put up them rocks and them scrap metal. And oh my gosh. Look at this. Okay, I think that this is amazing. I have never done this type of style before, ever. So I'm just amazed by myself. This is looking great. Look at the rocks and all of the bajillion different scrap metal. This is cool. And in the back too, beautiful. And by the way, I kind of had some problems here because with this house, I thought that was going to be the end house. So the landscaping for this one is a little bit wider than the other ones. And that meant that it's pretty squeezed in there. But you know, it is what it is. Also put up a mailbox and trash bin. Life is good. And now for the front yard and the backyard. We got to figure out what we're going to have in there too. And remember, no plants at all. Alright, well, let's start with the backyard first. And I think we're gonna have a wind turbine with maybe some boxes and some mud mess on the floor. And then we could have a generator maybe with just 2 sitting buckets, I mean. And then we could also have a working bench over there. And then, just some more boxes over here of some random stuff. Alright. Looking good. Looking very messy, just how I want it to be. And then for the front yard, I think I'm gonna put some rocks down, just in the corners and such. Okay, looks a little bit better now. And then what can we have for the front yard? Oh, this is difficult when you're not supposed to use any plants. It would have been great with the big old planting moment over there, but we're not gonna have any plants. No. But we can put in the welcome mat of a grate. And then we can just have this random old thing over there. I don't know what that is, but it's cool, and I'm gonna put it in. And then we can have an industrial light peeking from the stones. Oh, what about a grill, actually? That fits in. They may want a grill, even though they don't eat. They like it for the vibes. And then one more working table over here, because I couldn't come up with anything else. And okay, you know what? We're gonna have one plant, but it's not planted into the ground. It is still pretty industrial, apocalyptic. We can have one plant, right? Give me this one thing. Alright, boom de bam. Front yard is done. And also the backyard. Looking lovely. Well, not lovely, but lovely in a apocalyptic way. Yeah. And I think that is the whole outside, actually. That is the whole outside. You know what that means? That means we need to begin on the inside. Whoa! And what are we gonna do for the inside? What is the wallpaper and flooring gonna be? Where are we gonna have the stairs? Are we gonna have any rooms? All very great questions. Yeah, well, let's begin with the wallpaper. I think for the wallpaper, we're gonna have the same wallpaper as it is on the outside because this servo, they haven't insulated, okay? So it's just one wall. There's one tin wall, nothing else. And then for the flooring. I mean, I think for the flooring, we're also gonna have some metal, but maybe this rusty metal, just to have some warmth to it, so it's not that cold. That we can do. And then the staircase. Where is the staircase gonna be? We can maybe try with an L shape and put it over here somewhere. That might do. And then for the rooms for this build, we do not need a bathroom. We do not need a kitchen either, because the servo don't need that. But they do need entertainment, so we need a living room, that's for sure. And then they also do need to charge, so we could have a bedroom. That can be on top here. And then just a living room. Nothing else for our good old servo. And by the way, I think I was zoomed in the entire time, so I was so sorry. I'm really sorry about that. But there's nothing I can do about that. I do not want to film that all over again. I refuse to. Alright, so let's do the living room section first. First and foremost. Where are we gonna have that? Hold on, okay. We need to find a couch first. What would a servo couch look like? A little bit industrial, a little bit weird, and it needs to be small, a 2-seater. Oh, what about this one? The big boss sofa. Do they have that in a good color? Ooh, okay, they kind of do. That's kind of the vibe. It has some robot prints on it. What if you have a couch over there? Then a good old TV? Because the servo wants to be entertained. Yes. And then a beautiful coffee table. You can go with this one. Maybe, yeah, it has the vibes. And for the reg situation, we're gonna go with this one. Boom shamalam. Then on the coffee table, we are gonna have some gaming consoles because they like to be entertained. They need the fun. And these are also his friends. Then we're also gonna have some other stuff on there. Maybe a radio or something. Then we could also have this industrial plant over there with this random old thing. Ooh, oh, and then I do need to have a column right there to separate the two pieces. But I think if you put in the column, that's gonna be kind of disturbing. So what if you put in a pipe? That's a little bit skinny. Okay, you know what? That works out well. We can have that. And then behind the TV, we're gonna have a fan. Ooh, and maybe some blueprints. Hey, that could be cool. We could also put in a postcard because why not? And then on this wall, we can have this whole thing. I have no idea what that is, but it looked cool. Oh, and then we can also have a participation ribbon for pies. A pie competition. Oh, they tried. And then also just a good old pipe. Shabalam. And I think instead of an end table, we're gonna have this heater. Does it look kind of cute? We can have that. And then, alright, so the living room is done. And then we need to put in everything else. And we do not need a kitchen or a bathroom. But what we could put in is like a teeny tiny kitchen. because a teeny tiny kitchen is not a kitchen. But we can have just one counter with a coffee machine on it, a dirty coffee machine. We can also have some coffee bags and also some mugs. And we're also gonna have some upgrade parts because that is what he eats. Some bolts and screws. Okay, you know what? That is kind of cute. I like that. And then we can just have an assortment of knives and cookery stuff because I do kind of feel like the servo is sort of like Wall-E. You know how Wall-E just collects items here and there. He doesn't know what to do with them, but he just collects them. That is what this servo does. This is Wall-E 2.0. So for that reason, we're gonna have a lot of light switches for all of his lights, and then maybe an umbrella stand because he doesn't wear any clothes, but he might need an umbrella because if it rains on him, it's gonna be broken. Yeah. Then I'm also gonna give him some shoes. He probably doesn't wear any shoes, but there you go. He found those on the street. And then on this shelf, we can have a little robot. That is kind of cute, actually, with maybe some gardening gear. Oh, that is like oil and stuff to oil up his pots. That's kind of funny. And then for his entrance table, what would his servo have on the entrance table? I mean, he could have some car keys and glasses, maybe some coins. He would like that. Yeah, okay, we can have that. Boom, shamalam. Oh, also a robot vacuum. This is his best friend. Whoa. And then we could also have some wheels on the wall. He found this in the river. He loved it. Gotta keep it. And then just some more random stuff on the wall. Oh my gosh. What about a pipe right here? For some reason. I mean, sure, why not? And then underneath the stairs, you'd have this thing. The 1-4 FDP tower. With also some more robots and a robot set. You know, he's trying to build his friends. He doesn't have any friends yet, so he's in the process of it. Why am I making everything so sad? I don't know why. Like every story that I have for every single house that I build has some sort of a sad story to it. I don't know why, but it happens. But alright, you roll. That was the first floor. All cleaned it up. We have this corner over here with a lot of mess. We have the entrance moment, the living room moment, and the tiny kitchen area moment. Cute. Alright, let's move up to the second floor. And this was gonna be his bedroom, the servo bedroom. And what do we want in here? Well, first of all, we do need a bed. And I think actually I want a pod because servos could sleep in a pod and still be recharged. And I think that is perfect for them. And I'm also gonna pair that up with a beautiful carpet, rug, and then we could have a lamp back there. And I'm gonna use these as curtains because why not? I couldn't find anything better. Ooh, and maybe you would like this. Seems cute. Okay. And what more do we need in here? I mean, servos, they do need to be fine-tuned now and again, or else they're gonna get broken down. So we kind of do need a robotics workstation, so somebody can come and work on him. That can be there. Then we can have a little worker shelf on top of there, with maybe a random servo in the corner. This is the servo, people. Welcome. That is our guy. Oh, gee, he's worth 0 simoleons. Okay. And then on the other side here, we could have a bookshelf, squeezed right in. Oh, with also a desk right there. What desk do we want? What is the vibe? Oh, what about that? Could maybe be the vibe. Healing it. And then it's also gonna get a kick-ass computer. Wow! And also a fan. He found this fan. And he loved that fan. And then maybe above the desk, we can have this metal shelf. Whoa, kind of scary Mary. Kind of liking that. And then we just need to find some stuff to put on that. Some robotic, apocalyptic, industrial stuff. And that was truly wonderful. Oh my gosh, and then right here, we could have some bots. We could have a fixer bot. And then also a party bot. Because he likes the party. Those are his new friends. He loves them very much. And that was the end of that story. Alright, what else can we squeeze in? We can squeeze in a dresser. Even though they don't need it, we're still gonna get it. And what dresser are we gonna have? Nothing really screams out to me. What about the journey to Batuu? I mean, this whole build is just journey to Batuu. And I'm so sorry if you do not have that pack. But you know. Oh, what is this? Supply crate storage container. Okay, we can have that. We need a storage container rather than a dresser. Fits right in. Beautiful. And then on that, we can have a servo remains. Okay. Ooh, and then maybe a robo arm and a chatterbot and just some books squeezed in behind there. How was that looking? Ooh, looking promising. It truly indeed did. And then, right, what are we gonna have on these two walls? We need something there. What about this? That is very in with the style, isn't it? I mean, sure, we can have that. And then on this wall, what are we gonna have here? Maybe we can just have some random nickety knacks, like some pants. Okay, and the towel dispenser. Now, this wall is just gonna be random stuff that he found around the world that he took an interest in. So you can maybe have a little boat, some bicycle parts, and this chicken thing. Oh, and this one, the robotics poster. And maybe that. He loves that thing. The fuse box. He loves it. One of his many hobbies. Oh, and maybe we can have this one. The white spirit doll. Kind of looks like a little ghost. Because Jerry the ghost gave him that. They're friends. It's canon. They're friends. The best of friends. Oh, and of course, a button. We can niche forget about the industrial metal buttons. And I think with that was our whole second floor done. In all its glory. Very industrial and nice. Kind of a hoarder. I do love it. It's kind of cute. And then the first floor as well. And also our outside. The garden and the exterior. Oh, I do love this house, actually. I don't think I've ever built in this style before, but I'm kind of happy with it. And the backside too. It is still here. We haven't lost that yet. Good. But a patchwork of a house. Mwah. You know what that means? It means that we're gonna begin on that second house of today. This one right here. And we need to spin for that right now. So our good old spin the wheel. Spin away! A fairy! Finally, we're gonna make a fairy house. Oh, I'm so excited. I've been waiting for this. Good old fairy house. It's gotta be lovely. Well, okie dokie do. So first of all, what color scheme are we gonna go for? Because there are a lot of color schemes that you can choose from when it comes to the fairies. I mean, we could go all out with a blue and pink, or we can go with a dark vibe, or a light vibe, or a funky vibe. Interesting. Let me see about them doors. What if you go with something light and earth tones? So we could have a dark brown base and maybe a light top. Interesting. That could be our color palette. And do we want a little bump on this house? I do think we do. And that's gonna be on the second floor. Right. And then we could just have some columns supporting that. Sure, what a plan that was. Ooh, and then I think also for this build, what if we have the stairs on the outside? Because that is kind of whimsical. And fairies are whimsical. So what if we put in an L-shaped staircase and just throw it along there? That can lead up to there. I think that is perfect. Perfect. That is what we're gonna go with. And then for the roof, what are we gonna do with the roof? I have no idea, but I think I'm gonna put in some roof patterns just to get the vibe. That always seems to help sometimes. All right, so fairies. I do think it would be neat if we took it out a little bit on the top and in a little bit here. Yeah. What if we get another one the other way? That is so boxy though when it's a small tiny house. What if we take in the sides? Looks a little bit better, but it looks weird from the side. Oh, yikes. But you know what? We can go with that for now. It does look a little bit fairy-like. But what more can we do with this roof? It's whimsical. Wait, what if we put up a circular roof in the middle? That is gonna look ridiculous. I'm probably gonna edit this out. Oh, it looks like it has a big old bump. Like a cartoon bump. What if I could... What am I doing right now? It looks like it has a bump on its head. What? Am I okay? Well, what about now? You know what? I don't think I am okay. I'm gonna think about that, and I'm probably gonna delete that afterwards. But okay, what about the windows? We need to put in some good old windows, and we have already used these types of windows on this house. So for the fairy house, oh my gosh, I'm jumping up and down. But for the fairy house, we can use the Shrek windows. Bum. Seems like a good choice. And maybe we can squeeze in one of these over there. Maybe. We have to see about that one. Well, right, now for the details for this house. We, of course, need a lot of vines, but not too many vines, but a little bit of vines here and there. It's probably going to be a lot of vines. Oh, and maybe on this wall, we can put up some mushrooms. That seems fun, doesn't it? Yeah, mushrooms all around. And then we could also have a planter box and a balcony and some more hanging vines. Whoa, really magical. Okay, and then back to the roof. What are we going to do about the roof? I mean, I've already ruined the roof with that bump, but can I ruin it even more? With some mushrooms. What if I take these mushrooms in brown, size them up a little bit, and I place them on the roof? I mean, sorta. I can also have these debug mushrooms on the back there. Sure. On this bigger one right there. How is that looking? Kind of cute though. Kind of cute. Don't lie. It is cute. With that done, but also, I am starting to liking it. We can't really see the bump anymore. So that's a good thing. Should we put in some sort of chimney right there? No, that's gonna be too much. No. Okay, so you know what? I am happy with this exterior. I'm happy how it turned out. It's very whimsical. Still gotta figure out what I'm gonna do right here. But for now, I'm kind of happy with it. Yeah. All right. Yeah. Yes, maybe I will come back to the exterior, but now we are gonna work on the landscaping. And first of all, we gotta put in a staircase. And I think for the staircase, we gotta do something more funky. Because if you put up a staircase just straight down, it's gonna look ridiculous. Look at that. I mean, it was already a stretch with this one, you know? So I think we gotta do something else. And what can we do? We could make like a zigzaggy staircase where it goes this way and then out. And what do I need to do for that? I need to build a foundation. So if I put up a foundation, stretch it up to high heavens, sort of about there, place it down, pick it up again. No, it needs to be closer. It needs to be right there, and then take it up. Right about there. Okay, yeah, that's our placement, number one. And then, if we take a staircase, plop it on there, and then just do like so. No, get back. Darn it. I go like so. Take it out there, take it in there, and take it out there, and then take it up. We got a staircase, people. That was not hard at all. It was not difficult. No. Nora did not have a problem with those stairs. She did not. But I get that is you know what? That is a magical staircase. And then we just need to put a lot of rocks and plants around that. And then in the garden, I'm gonna put up a fence so I don't forget. There you go. A fence. So okay, for the plants and the rocks, for the landscaping around here, we are of course gonna use Enchanted by Nature. And I think we're gonna use some mossy rocks. So I want it to be very green and brown. Then we're also gonna have some mushrooms. Gonna put in these big ones right here. And also these ones, plop it around there. And these plants as well. That's what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna put them all in. I'm gonna make a great formation for us. A rock formation. again with the plants and stuff, and the mushrooms, and the flowers, and some more rocks. It's gonna be a mossy old green old moment for us. And hopefully I will have hidden up the edges of the staircase, so it's not a perfect big old block, you know? Maybe I will have done that, maybe not, we shall see. I'm always in suspense of what I'm gonna do with the landscaping, because nobody really knows what Nora's gonna do with the landscaping. Nobody knows, not even Nora. And would you look at that. Oh me, oh my. I have no words. I love this so much. Like, actually, I love it so much. This is amazing with the staircase and the rocks just wrapping around the staircase. Got some mystical things, got some mushrooms. I love it a lot. This might be my favorite landscaping that I've ever done. No kidding. No jokes. All truths. How does it look from afar? Oh, beautiful. Do not look at that house. No. Look at this. Cute. Alright, let's put up a trash bin in our mailbox. And we, of course, need our fairy mailbox. And then for the trash bin, what are we gonna use? This one? It's a little bit too clunky. I don't know. None of this scream out to me. They should have made a fairy trash bin. Why didn't they do that? If they did that, then I wouldn't be in a pickle right now. What about, okay, you know what? You're just gonna get this one. I don't even care anymore. You ruined the vibe. But alright, now we also gotta work on the front garden right here, and there isn't much we can do. So already put in so many plants. But I think we can try and hide up this part right here, this weirdo part. And how we're gonna do that, oh, we shall soon find out. Maybe what if we put in this grass patch? Put it on there. Oh, that hit it up well. Good. Then we can also throw in some stepping stones, sort of like so. Then also path it all in with some of this, and also shade it in a little bit. And there you go. What more can we have? Whoa, fairy. Oh, we can have a fairy home right in there. And that is all we're gonna have. Bam. Now for the backyard. In the backyard, we are, of course, gonna have an apothecary table right over there. And then on the other side, I mean, is there any doubt? We need some planting pots. Then we could also have a little table over there with some good old plants. Maybe a little mushroom plant over there. And some more bushes squeezed in that corner. Ooh. And then on this wall, we could have some more mushrooms. With yet again, some more planting on our beautiful wall. Cute. And that was indeed our beautiful back garden. And I was supposed to put plants in these plant pots, but my gallery, for some reason, isn't working right now. So, just imagine that the plants are here. Just imagine it. Ooh. Alright, now for the inside. The floor planning of the inside. Very much interesting. I'm gonna go to the bathroom, and then we're gonna begin on the inside. Hold on. Alright, I'm back again from the bathroom. It was wonderful. And now we gotta figure out this inside. So right, our front door is there, back door is there, and we need a bathroom, a kitchen, and a living room situation, and a dining room situation. And then on the second floor, we also do need a bedroom. The bedroom is gonna be bigger than everything else. Good for us. So what if we put down the bathroom up here, maybe? And then we can squeeze in our kitchen right in this corner with also a fridge and a stove. I mean, that's very squeezed in, but that's all right. And then, ooh, this is gonna be difficult. The dining table. What if we try the dining table over here, and then we can maybe squeeze in the living room over there? If I try to put in the fireplace, that's gonna be massive. We can size it down a little bit. Don't know if that's gonna be functional or not, but that's not my problem. And then also a couch. That is too big. Oh no, what couch are we gonna use? Something magical, something whimsical. What about this one? Oh, that would be lovely. But I don't think that any of the colors are gonna match. But what about this one? That could maybe work. It's not really the style, but what else are we gonna do, you know? What else are we supposed to do? I'm asking. What else are we supposed to do? Right. Yeah, I think that is the layout for the first floor. Then what about the wallpaper? You want it to be light? We can go for this one. And maybe we can also have a mossy stone wall. Alright, maybe. You know what? Yeah. I think that is a plan. We're gonna go for that plan. Whoa. Oh, and by the way, I just wanted to thank you guys so much for showing up to my stream last week. It was my first ever stream. I was kind of nervous, but it was a lot of fun. We played Minecraft. Nora was very brave, and I got a lot of help. And thank you so much for being there and chatting along. And to you guys who sent me a lovely little chat message, but I didn't see it or read it. Don't you worry, because I read all of the chat messages after I was done with the stream. Don't you worry, I saw all the chats afterwards. Nora sees everything. She reads everything. Yes. And yeah, I'm gonna continue on with my streams every Saturday, I do think, if something doesn't come up. You know. And now comes the embarrassing part. The VOD, the video that comes after the stream, which are called VODs. Don't know what that stands for, but it's called a VOD. Anyways, my VOD got muted. And I first thought it was because of copyright issues, but I had gotten no copyright claims at all. So I was just like, why is this muted? But then I checked in my OBS, which I use to film the screen and everything. And in my OBS, I had set the audio track for the stream to be at number 1. So audio track 1 was being streamed. But then for some reason, there was a VOD audio track in the settings. And that was set to audio track 3, where there is no sound. All of my audio tracks were on number 1. I have now fixed that issue, but it means that the VOD video is forever muted. Because who, why, what? Or I know who, it was me. I don't know how I did it, but I set the bad audio track to track number 3 instead of 1. I don't know why, I'm so sorry. And there's no way I can fix that. So that was embarrassing. That's not gonna happen again. So I'm sorry for you who wanted to see the stream but wasn't able to be there. So yeah. Anyways, back to the video of me building. But alrighty-o, the first floor is done and it's looking kinda cute, people. Very whimsical, very magical. We have our dining nook over there with our potion wall, our cute old living room, our kitchen movement with 1 counter free, and also the cute stuff on top of the fridge, and also the bathroom. Wow. And now on to the second floor for the bedroom, and it is pretty dark in here. Don't you worry, gotta put up a light. Bam. Alright, for the bed. I mean, come on, we gotta use this bed, the fairy bed. In that color, maybe. That could be a vibe for us today. And can we squeeze in some bedside tables? The sides there. If we just size them down a little bit. Right there. Yeah, you know what? I think that can work. And then for the window, the curtain doesn't really match. So what can we have instead? We could have some vines, but I think not. It's gonna be very vine heavy. So we could maybe instead put in some lights. Sort of like so. I'm floating down. Alright. You know what? I think we can do that. But also a little bench. And maybe a rug. Will that work? Does that match? Sorta, kinda. Okay. Happy with that. And then what else do we need for this bedroom? We could have a desk situation right over there. Then we can have something else over there. I mean, sure. Plop in a beautiful chair. And also a beautiful, magical, whimsical, knickety knacks on that desk. Cute! Oh my gosh, that is actually so cute. I love it! Then maybe we can also put in this light over there. Ooh, it's right in. Beautiful. Okay, and this corner over there. What about them chairs in the pink color? Oh, and they got a little bee on them. The bee on the pillow. Cute! Right, we can have a chair corner. Every room needs a chair corner. We have decided. And what are we gonna have on the table? We could have a plant and a fairy gnome somewhere. Okay. I mean, I see no reason why not to do that. I mean, that fairy gnome fits right in, doesn't it? That's a cute old guy. And then above the window, we are yet again gonna continue with our lights. Can I rotate them? I can. Maybe I can do that afterwards. Because right now, I'm gonna put up some werewolf pictures. Some flowers. Flowers. No, butterflies and flowers. There we go. Then we can have another picture over there. And then maybe this one right in there. That's squeezed in. Then we can also use those godforsaken curtains. It never really seems to work, but it works kinda maybe here. Yeah, it does. Yeah. Alright. Because with these windows, it doesn't really work. Like that curtain is a little bit too big for that window. And with this window, one part is always going to be sticking out. Like, look, that part is sticking out. Now that part is sticking out. Like, oh, no. What are we going to have instead? These ones. I mean, okay, let's not speak about that. We need to address the situation. A clothing situation. So what can we get? We can get this one. Put some clothes on there. Boom, boom. That looks really empty though, doesn't it? So what if I instead do this and put some clothes on this one and size it down and then just putting it over here? Hold on. We could maybe do that. And that's what I did. And it looks a lot better, doesn't it? It looks like you have a decent amount of clothes. So good. That's what we could do. And then what else can we have in here? We can have an apothecary table. An apothecary storage cabinet. I mean, not a table. We can have that in there with some more potions. And what about our gramophone? Yeah, we can have that. And that was indeed the whole second floor, the whole old bedroom for my fairy. Wham! And also the first floor with all the beautiful knickety-knacks. And the outside as well with the many mushrooms and the many plants and the rocks. That is a magical moment. Oh, we are done. We are done with this house and we're done with that house. And you know what that means? It's time for the house tour. So strap yourself in because the house tour is happening now. And we are going to start our journey with house number 1, or actually house number 5, the servo house. And we got the outside with the big old trash pile, the front yard, the lovely mysterious exterior, and the frickety roof. And also the backside with the big old trash pile, the backyard, and the exterior. And look at that messy old backyard. Oh my gosh. Anyways, where am I? There I am. But anyways, let's take a little walk up them stairs. And go inside this tin of a box. Whoa! And here we have the inside. Let's do a fisheye. Fisheye! That was beautiful. But here we have the living room, the entryway, and this crap underneath the stairs, and that lovely kitchen. Let's do another fisheye. Fisheye! That is beautiful. Okay, let's go up to the second floor. And whoa! This is our bedroom, people. We got a sleeping pod, we got our office nook, our tinker nook, and whatever this is. I don't know what to call it, really. I have no idea. But this is a tin of a box, isn't it? A real tin box. Look at all this crap. And the lone little servo over there. Oh, and just in case you would need it, here's a little overview of the house. We got the second floor and the first floor right there. Alright, let's move on to the second house, which is our fairy house. Oh my gosh. With a beautiful rock formation of the many mushrooms And there's the side of the house. And the back of the house. And look at all them mushrooms. Whoa! And we also have the backyard. The beautiful planting movement. And no, my gallery is still not working. Still not. But we're back at the front of the house. And let's try and walk up these stairs. Oh my. This is a very serene moment, isn't it? Oh, I'm almost falling down the stairs. But here is the front garden. Looking lovely, looking lovely. And inside we shall see our fairy apartment. Our fairy house, I mean. With our living room, our potion area, our dining room, and our kitchen movement. Bum, 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 bum. And then in here, we of course have the bathroom. Tiny bathroom with our mushroom shower. Cool beans. Right, let's go up to the second floor. And for that, we need to go out, not into the bathroom. Here we go. Up them stairs we go. Wham! And in we are. We have the bedroom with a desk area over here, our sitting corner, and our bed area. Oh, that is cute. Actually adorable. With our apothecary stuff, our dresser situation, our clothing hanging situation. Let's do a fish eye. Fish eye! And another fish eye. Fish eye! Oh my. Okay. And there's also a bird view of the house if you would ever need that. We got the first floor and second floor and the mushrooms. And that was indeed the house tour. And now it is time for the outro. And here is indeed the outro. Welcome, welcome. And if you want to download this build, or these builds, I mean, you can't right now. You have to wait until the series is finished, and then you can download it on my gallery. But not now. Anyways, don't forget to like, subscribe, because it really does help me out. So thank you. But only if you want to. Only if you want to. And I will see you guys next time. Goodbye.